Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Vallen, and this is Witchery Brews, page 4 of level 4. Click on the link of the brew that you'd like to check out information about, or just let it play and we'll get to it right away. First up we have Stout Belly, which will take foul fume in order to create this brew, and this will in so much remove nausea, primarily from moonshine effects. So this being a level 4 spell, moonshine being level 1, you probably can combine this easy enough with just like a mandrake root, netherwort, and tear of the goddess for your power level, and you can create yourself a powerful moonshine effect without the nausea to throw you off. Now, upping the power on the Stout Belly makes no difference, so don't bother investing in that. You're just going to need the extra increases for the capacity. But drinking it will have more duration, so it is recommended as a drinking potion. But if for some reason you are expecting to suffer a lot of nausea, using it as a splash potion will obviously instantly, eliminate the nausea effect, and can be useful, and who cares if it hits friend or foe at that point, eliminating a nausea effect unless you're trying to give one to them. So that's pretty basic stuff. Not very much to show you there, it just eliminates the nausea effect. And here we have Blight. This one here is very situational. Power will not really change the difference of how this affects, so don't bother powering it up, but it does require a poisonous potato as the main ingredient. The area of effect will affect more area for the Blight if it hits the ground, so that's something that you're really going to want to pay attention to. It will have no effect on players. Drinking it has no effect either. So let me grab, I'm going to grab just one of the high level ones here. We also have gas brews, which, that's not really going to make much difference. You could use a gas brew to affect villagers easier, but the idea is Blight will, on occasion, take regular terrain and kill critters, animals and stuff in the area. It will just kind of destroy the landscape, turning it into regular dirt and sand. With villagers in mind, it may also have secondary effects, but you'll notice that sometimes it takes a few tries. That villager there got turned into a villager zombie. So you have chances of converting other entities like villagers in the world into other creatures. But, if you hit the creature with the potion, it's not really going to have the same effect. You see, it didn't affect the landscape at all. It is killing them. I mean, when I hit the chicken, but, each one has their own special hitbox. You see that one took a couple hits. So it does take a little bit of effort to try and get that in there. I mean, you can see, here we go. It's kind of interesting. I mean, you throw down a bunch of these, or like a big gas one in a village, and you could easily convert them all into villager zombies. But if that's what you're looking for, there you go. Of course, Blight will also destroy or convert crops as well. So you can see I accidentally hit the wrong area, but it will turn them into dead bushes. So this is another way to make dead bushes if you need them for other potentially more dangerous spells. But also keep in mind that it doesn't work on all crops that are planted. Sometimes they just pop up out of the ground. Oh dear. And here is Transpose. This one is a very basic one, but it can be extremely complex. Let me grab a few of the very low-level ones. Actually, I'm going to take a large splash area and a low level and a high level of that as well. And then, of course, one of the gas ones, and heck, why not? We'll take a drinking potion too. And we're going to take a chicken spawner. Of course, this one uses an ender pearl as the primary ingredient. Now, this one here, the more power you have, the more distance you're going to be teleported. So that is something to take into effect. It's best when used as a ritual. I am not showing you how to do rituals in this video. This is all about brews. If you want to know how to do a ritual, I'm going to have a link probably either in the description below or on the screen or something like that. So feel free to follow that, and you can check out how to do rituals there. But this can be used to clear areas, and I will demonstrate this. So to give an example, let's see here. I just want the lowest level one here. So this one I have. I'm going to stand in this one little spot here. And let's see around me. You can see there's a little bit going on. Just little things that I've done. I wasn't summoning anything. Don't worry about that. But if I throw this in the air, I get teleported a short distance. So you can see there, I got teleported from here to over there. Not that impressive. Nothing really major, but it did push me around, about 6 blocks or 7 blocks or something like that. Now, if I use the level 4 variant, I toss this on myself. Oops, I hit myself twice. But you can see it teleported me about double the distance. So the more you have for power, the further you're going to be teleported. And it is kind of random with how far you go. That one there was more like 20, 25 blocks. So it can be pretty interesting. Now, I said before, it can be used to clear areas. What I mean by this is you see that there's a whole bunch of chickens over here. Let's say that there's a whole bunch of mobs at the bottom of a stairway or something. Well, you can easily, use this to kind of move things around. But that's very confusing with the little ones. So you're going to want to use the more powerful potion. And boom, they are gone. Now, if you use the gas brew equivalent, then let's just toss a bunch of chickens in this pit over here. We'll just put chickens everywhere. Why not? Because I can spawn them in. Now, you toss in the gas brew, and you'll start seeing the chickens just get cleared away. And they're gone. No harm done. They just get teleported elsewhere. Of course, they could get teleported into an area that's dangerous to them. But then it also works for you, too. And I got teleported a short distance as well. So this can be useful for just getting enemies or creatures out of areas that you can't move or have difficulty in moving. So that might benefit some people. There's also the Brew of Transpose that you can drink. And you'll, teleport a distance as well. So it can be some fun. It is random where you're going to be going. But primarily, I would say it's either going to be used just to kind of prank somebody by tossing them, making them teleport different places, perhaps splashing a potion on yourself so that you could throw somebody off that's chasing you, or them, but primarily probably used for just clearing out mobs. Now here we have Transpose Ore. This one, it sounds really good because in the book, if you look up Transpose Ore, it says breaks ore blocks in a sphere based on the power. Higher power levels break rarer ores. You may need a way to pull the ores to you, though. It's like, well, that sounds great. I can just go quarry a bunch of stuff. No, it doesn't work that way. It's much less powerful than most people believe. So let me grab a bunch of these. I've got them levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 are available here, and we're going to just toss level 1. Nothing happens. So instantly you have to have some point of investment in it. Level 2, you see it harvested the iron. Level 3, it harvested the gold and the iron. And level 4, gold, iron, and lapis. That's pretty much it. But it will do it in a pretty decent radius, and it's actually a sphere as well. It's not just like a splash area. So if I have a bunch of these really tall, let me restack this bunch here. And we're going to want to use the level 4 and toss that. You can see it took out a large chunk in a decent radius, but you can see it was about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 7 or 8 block radius, 7.5 block radius in a sphere. It will harvest all those, but only of specific types. So I don't know that this is really worth it because you've got to sacrifice an ingot of iron to harvest a bunch. Now, I don't know if you have a bunch of these just sitting around on the surface or something. I guess it is really quick. There's no durability loss involved on picks and stuff, so you could just throw one of these down and harvest a bunch of stuff. But it does have very high limitations on the types of ores that it can harvest. As you could see there, it only harvested 3 different kinds. And here we have a little bit more interesting of a brew, Raise Dead. This one here, the more power you have, the chance of more mobs. The bigger area of effect, like if I use a splash potion with a larger area, it will give a bigger area for the mobs to spawn in, but it's random. They still may spawn on top of each other. At level 1, you'll spawn 1 mob. Level 2, you'll spawn 1 to 2. Level 3, 1 to 3. And level 4, 1 to 4 mobs. Now, the higher the level, the more likely you're going to get more mobs as well. It's not just going to be every time you toss out one of these, you have a random chance of the 1 to 4. It's more like a random chance with heavier percentages on the higher numbers. So you're more likely to get the higher ones as well. So let me grab a bunch of these, and you'll see here it doesn't actually affect the ground or anything. If I toss one down, I get myself a skeleton instantly. And I toss down, let's toss one of these down over here. We've got a willing participant here that's going to help me clean it up. And there you go. I got 3 different guys, including Pigman was one of them. And of course, he's just going to pretty much take them out shortly anyway. And if not, then the sun will. So keep that in mind. You can use this to spawn yourself a bunch of mobs. It can be very useful. I mean, it does cost a bone. So you could do a level 1 and just spawn yourself a bunch of mobs. It's pretty cool. And if you have a Necromancer Stone, you can then control these mobs. So you don't have to go out looking for mobs if you don't want to. You can make them yourself. Here we have Raise Land. This one is rather depressing, actually. It is not nearly as effective in a brew form as I would have hoped. It is much more effective similarly to Transpose. I believe that's Transpose? Yes, it is Transpose. It's in a ritual, and therefore can raise an area. Raise land in a brew form, it just works really, really weird. It raises, it says a glock of land. What it means is 1 cube. So 1 cube area, and I don't mean just like 1 total, I mean like 1, but the radius it talks about in the book, if you look in here, it says raise land, raises a glock of land with a radius determined by the power of the effect. And you'd think radius, okay, around like this. Well, that is true for the ritual, but not for the brew. If you use a brew, then it's just the depth of how far down it goes. So allow me to demonstrate. So if I have this one here, this is just a regular level 1, and I toss it down, and it raises up about three blocks, I think. Let's see. Yep, that's all it does. Raises up 3 blocks just to the surface. That's pretty much it. You know, you can keep hitting the same thing and keep moving it up if you want. So it's kind of interesting that you have that adjustability of something. So you could create different spikes on there. Of course, if I hit the bottom, then it's going to do that. But here's the other thing. If I'm standing on it, it's, I believe, yeah, going to raise me with it. So it's pretty interesting. Let's see what happens if I land this down here. There you go. So I got moved up with it. It's kind of cool. It moves more than just dirt. You know, you can use this on stone and other blocks. You can use it on leaves, trees. It's pretty interesting. But let's use the one that has Raise Land 4. Now, I did try this with different area of effects. No difference. So you don't even want to bother with bigger splash area. But if I use a bigger spell, with a more powerful one rather, it raises a lot more. So you can see here you got like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you know, you get like about 3 blocks per power level, it sounds like. So it's pretty interesting. Now, here's some other interesting things though. You can create this as a drinking potion, and you're affected by it as if the potion had been splashed on the ground. So therefore that can save you some materials. I do recommend you then choose your drinking potion instead. So that could be really good. And if you toss a gas brew out, it doesn't quite work the way you think. It can be interesting to affect other critters. You know, for instance, once the chicken gets touched, boom, it then applies, but it doesn't touch the ground. So if I fall into this, boom, as soon as I am on ground, it pulls the ground up underneath. So it can be interesting. I mean, you can totally make some interesting stuff this way. You can keep on jumping down into the gas cloud and try raising up some areas, but I don't know. It has some very situational uses, just not as impressive as the ritual version, which will raise a circular area up into the air. And of course, this uses another quartz. And now we get into the last brew of the vid, and that is going to be Valen's Brew of Walking Death. That's right. You can share this with your friends. They'll love you for it. No, they won't. They will hate you. They'll be very unhappy. The idea of this is that you're making walking bombs that will attack players. So you're going to want to use this sparingly and not near yourself, because you will be very apt to being destroyed as well. But let's see here. We've got to start off with, you're going to need 8 total capacity. So you've got Nether Wart, Tear of the Goddess, Diamond Vapor, a Diamond, and then you can do Glowstone, Blaze Rod, and Charged Attune Stone. It can be skipped, but I recommend using it in both of these cases, because you're going to want as strong or as many mobs spawning as possible. And then you've got the dead bush for the other one, so you'd repeat and do this again. Of course, you can skip the Charged Attune Stones, but I don't recommend it, because it just is going to make this much more powerful. And of course, this is just going to make 1 brew, unless you're an experienced witch, in which case it may make more. But you've got your dead bush here, and then I will go over this and actually make one. But we've got the ash. The wood ash, cocoa beans. You can use wispy cotton if you've gone to the spirit world. If not, you can skip the wispy cotton, and that's just going to increase the area of the splash, which will give more space for your mobs to spawn. Then you bottle it, and you get Valen's Brew of Walking Death. Now, how this works, I'll show you in just a moment. I have all the ingredients on me, so I'm going to toss them all in here at the moment. All right, so we go Nether Wart, Tear of the Goddess, Diamond Vapor, Diamond, Glowstone, Blaze Rod. You can skip the Attune Stone if you want. Toss in a bone. Then you go back to Glowstone, Blaze Rod. You can skip the Attune Stone if you want. Dead Bush, Wood Ash, Cocoa Beans. You can skip the Wispy Cotton if you want. And then you add in, oh, I don't think I put up there Gunpowder or Artichoke Heart. So my apologies for not having that on the wall. And of course, you then brew it. Now, because I'm an experienced witch and I have my witch's robes on, I get 3 of those. So therefore, it's much better. Now, how this works. Let's go find a target. We have here the ability to make things volatile. For those that have watched the previous video, you'll remember the volatile action. Or rather, the volatile brew effect, which makes you highly explosive. Now, if I were to toss it on a creature, nothing really happens. It gets the volatile effect on it. So you don't want to hit your target. You want to hit near your target, and then it will be attacked. So, for instance, let's get a villager in here. Let's spawn one of these guys over here, where he's, not too far from stuff. And then we're going to toss this down nearby. That happened a little faster than I expected, but let's try this again. All right, instantly, we've got volatile zombies and undead are spawned, as well as the villager is, or in this case, it could be a player, and therefore they are going to potentially attack, create explosions, bad things will happen. You see how it goes, and it lasts for 1.5 minutes, so this guy's just going to keep running unless we, help his demise. So you can see you've got walking bombs that will chase you or your target as they go. Now, it works for, golems as well, but usually they're so effective at killing these things that it doesn't really make a difference. Oh, I see that the zombies above have spawned and really don't care about this guy, so we'll toss a bunch of guys down below and see what happens. Oh, well. Oh, there we go. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know that I always enjoy myself a little bit of Witchery Brews. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. So don't forget to give a like, subscribe, and spread the mischief. Till next time, folks. I'll see ya.